Good morning, sleepyheads.
Don't you mean good morning, Colt?
What?
Ryan here just finished one of the most memorable series on YouTube ever, going to 50 states in 50 days.
Let's go. We did it.
Right now, his series has amassed 180 million views, averaging 3.6 million views a video. There were close to 3 million people coming back every single day, and over $11.5 million was raised for St. Jude's. However, all the numbers aside, there was perhaps an even bigger win for Ryan during this series: the emergence of a cult fan base. The Google Trends for the search Ryan Trahan is the proof. This is the search traffic during the 30-day penny series, and this is the search traffic during the 50-day state series. So today, Ryan and I are going to talk about how the 50 state series took his audience of 21 million to become one of the most dedicated on all of YouTube. So how valuable do you feel like these events, like the penny series or the 50 states in 50 days, are to just audience core instead of just uploading like one video every 2 to 3 weeks?
I think it's super valuable because it's something for the audience to remember, start sharing word of mouth about like, oh, I'm watching this channel. He's trying to do this thing. I feel like I've done it since I started my channel, like back in 2017. I turned a penny into $1,000 and uploaded weekly videos. It's really this like natural human instinct, I think, to want to follow a journey. Even if you're not a huge channel, you can benefit from going on this like sort of challenge or series that you're passionate about.
Most channels on YouTube will upload every couple of weeks, which makes it really hard for the audience to feel connected with the content that's being made. Almost every popular video on YouTube was filmed weeks beforehand, and there's a deeper sense of connection with the fan base when these videos are uploaded in real time. Can you talk a little bit about the live aspect of it? Because I think that's the part that really hones in the hardcore loyalty.
I don't watch too much Twitch, but I do feel like they have it figured out where it feels like you have a real relationship with a streamer and they're like, chat, what you think about this? And I just think that that essentially captures the relationship aspect that you don't really have whenever you're uploading once a month on YouTube. Because if you're uploading that infrequently, you can't have a good relationship with anybody if you meet them once a month. So the live aspect of YouTube of like uploading daily videos, even if there is a small buffer, it's as close as we can get on YouTube while still feeling like you can edit it and make it your own style.
Ryan had a few day buffer period with his uploads, which when the series is 50 days long, feels like it's practically live. Whenever a big donation came in to activate the Wheel of Doom, the fans would see it beforehand and then see Ryan react to it just a couple of days later. And Ryan's previous 30-day penny series is what really established this live format, with Ryan crossing all of America with only one penny. So obviously everyone knows you from 30-day penny series. The 30-day penny series got more views than this. It's probably to be expected, right? So was your goal with this series to go for more depth over width?
I wouldn't say it was my goal to go for more depth over width. Like, I remember thinking, man, it would be so cool if we can have similar viewership of the penny series. But at the same time, I did not expect it at all. Like, before we started, I was like, let's just prepare ourselves. It's probably not going to be as big. And honestly, it's because I was doing something I really wanted to do in real life with Haley. I've always wanted to go on a road trip with her and go see all 50 states. So it's one of those things where like I put, maybe the YouTube meta a little bit underneath my personal goals and desires. But at the same time, I think it allowed for a community to build that I never would have expected. It's such wholesome content. And I feel like the people that did watch, even though it got less views, they arguably were more invested than even the penny series audience was. And I think beyond that, like, there was the TikTok edits of Haley that we saw. Like, what the heck? That's crazy.
Why do you think that the audience connected so deeply with this series in particular? Like, what about this series created so much depth?
The first thing I'll say is I don't really know. It's actually awesome to see like the types of things that people gravitate towards, but Haley and I really just do the things that we do every day in real life. I think it's so funny how much people got obsessed like with her McGriddle order, like putting grape jelly on her McGriddle. Also, like our coffees in the morning, jammy time, all these things that feel so routine oriented and things that we just do in our real life. I think it's just like relatable, and it's like, oh yeah, I could do jammy time with my family and it would be fun, I think that those routine, like habitual things give people a level of comfort because they bring me comfort when I do them on a daily basis. So that seems like the main thing.
In each of the 50 videos, Ryan had several recurring segments that would occur in practically every single one of the videos. There was jammy time, and then Ryan running a mile, and then time to read donations, and more and more and more. These established familiarity in every single video because these segments happened every single video. You could miss 5 videos in a row and then click into one and feel like you haven't really missed much because the segments in that video were almost the same as they were 5 days ago. How important do you think like that repetitiveness in these repeated segments are to people locking in and loving the series?
I think it's actually super important because it's really hard to tune into every video every day. I'd say like these are 20, 30, even 40-minute videos, and it's so easy to miss some. But what I love about the way that the structure worked out is like every morning I'd say it is day 21 and we are currently in Virginia, and here's where we stayed last night, and here's what you missed if you didn't watch the last one. And I feel like it's a really good way for the viewer to orient themselves, where it's like, okay, I can enjoy this video even if I missed the last week. And also, like, those little comfort routines make it feel like they've been watching the same video over and over.
And speaking of repetitiveness, one of the most repetitive things you can do on YouTube is edit. But luckily, there's a tool called Gling AI that can make editing a whole lot easier. Using Gling is super simple. Let's say I want to edit down the clip that you are currently watching. All I have to do is drag in the file, decide what I want to enhance. I want to cut silences and bad takes, and then hit enhance and edit. And then a few moments later, Gling will spit out a nearly perfectly edited version of the video. This otherwise would have taken me hours to trim down. And then I'm able to take this cut of the video and export it out to Final Cut Pro so I can add sounds and graphics. For anyone making podcasts or long form videos, I honestly think that Gling is essential. It was all designed with creators in mind, so it's built to work for YouTube. All you have to do is click the link in the description to try out Gling for yourself. Thank you so much for sponsoring the video, Gling. And since we're on the topic of advertising in a YouTube video, let's talk a little bit about how Joyride, Ryan's candy company, was impacted by the series. You guys like that pivot? So by putting out 50 videos, you had essentially 50 ad slots the whole time. And Joyride was referenced almost every single video. But did you notice an impact on sales numbers and, more importantly, like Joyride brand overall from the series?
With this series, we launched this concept of like Joyride runners because I really wanted to give a title to all the people that are supporting the brand and like trying the candy. This summer, I knew that we were launching in 7-Eleven as well, and that's like a big deal. Like I love 7-Eleven. It's one of the biggest stores in America. A lot of people shop there naturally, and if I could just like get the message out that Joyride's in 7-Eleven now, then it probably will work out, not only in Target and 7-Eleven, but there's a lot of regional stores that I didn't even know about, like Shaw's in the Northeast or Meijer in like Wisconsin. Like these stores that I probably would never go to and talk about, but they actually do stock Joyride. I got to go see it, and so that's why it was so fun to try to find Joyride in every state.
With Ryan going to buy Joyride every day, he was able to cleverly show what stores Joyride was available in. One day going to Target, the next to 7-Eleven, the next to CVS, and so on. YouTube is one of the greatest and easiest ways to market a product, and Ryan took advantage of having 50 videos in which he could advertise Joyride. And it worked. This is the Google Trends for the search Joyride candy during the series. And Joyride actually passed Feastables, Mr. Beast's chocolate company, during the 50 days. Despite Mr. Beast having 20 times the number of subscribers, Ryan is showing that depth of connection matters a lot more than just sheer scale. But Ryan also has sheer scale as he blew up in subscriber count during the series. So during this series, you hit 21 million subscribers. Insane number. How do you go about making sure that there's still depth and connection with every one of those as the audience grows so large?
For me, I really feel like it's just staying true to myself. Like I've pivoted so many times throughout my YouTube career, and I feel like for the past 3 years, I finally have not pivoted too much. And I think that's the most important thing with anything. Like if you're a fan of a musician and they start changing their genres all the time, except Post Malone, he can do it he does a great job of that. I just feel like it's really hard to like stay attached. So for me, like the subscriber count doesn't really represent like, oh, it's too big to control or like there's too many people watching, I have to change something. I think it's just a reflection of like doing it for a long time and making videos that I feel like a lot of people can enjoy. I feel like MKBHD is a good example. He hit 20 million subscribers at a similar time. He's making like the same videos he always made. And it's like a time horizon thing where like if you just keep going, there will probably be more and more people that are getting on YouTube and like want to watch a video about a tech review. And he's obviously the best option for that. So if I can just keep being the best option for Ryan videos, it should be fine.
So now let's talk a little bit about the numbers behind the series. Overall, the 50 videos total 22.7 hours of content. So if you watch every video every day, you literally spent 2% of your last 50 days watching this series. That is millions of people who spent a significant amount of their day with Ryan and thus became die-hard fans. To show how much people cared, Ryan went from 1.4 million followers on Instagram before this series to 3.1 million after, and Joyride also gained 700,000 followers. Of course, Ryan was donating a penny to St. Jude's for every follower he gained, but it still shows that people cared even off of YouTube. And on YouTube, the numbers are even more impressive. The 50 States series hit 180 million views so far. It'll go on and hit 200, 300 mil eventually. But do you think it's more valuable to have 50 videos that total 180 million or one video that hit 180 million?
I mean, it was a lot of work to make 50 videos. So it's pretty enticing to think of doing that with only one. But I really wouldn't trade this experience for the one, because the amount of like daily interaction I feel like I have with my audience, where like I got to read the comments of like, man, who else has been watching since day one? This is really like a lifestyle for my audience to spend the summer with me and Haley. Like, I thought that was such a cool experience. But if you're watching one video, it's almost just like put it out there and there's no relationship. It's just, I'm gonna enjoy this, move on with my day. So I feel like that's why daily or even posting more frequently, if you're a YouTuber or trying to get started, it's the best. It's the easiest way to build up that relationship with your audience. And yeah, it's hard work. Like, it's really hard to be consistent like that. But I think it's so worth it, because who needs 180 million views on one video? What is that? Is this like Despacito? Months and months of preparation went into uploading 50 videos this summer. It can't be replicated over and over again, but that's why I think trying to do it once a year or once every 2 years is so worth it. Now it's back to, posting at best every 2 weeks, most likely once a month.
I think a great indicator to show the 50 States audience involvement is the comments. On the 50th video and the finale of the series, there are over 32,000 comments. And this video only has about 4.5 million views. Comparatively, I Flew Around the World in First Class, a video with 28 million views, only has 27,000 comments. But it's not easy to get this level of engagement. It takes months of pre-planning and setup. Can you talk just a little bit about how much pre-planning went into this? Because I'm sure a lot of people watch and are somewhat naive to it. It's like, oh, Ryan just did this, he's shooting this thumbnail every day, all that stuff. But how much work actually went into the pre-planning? How many months ago did this start?
The idea is like a year old. Like, really, since I had the idea, we've been working on the idea. Really looking at the Airbnbs was like 10 months ago. A couple months of research to find the coolest Airbnbs in each state with a route that made sense that we could actually do. And then the Wheel of Doom comes in, and that was like a whole thing of figuring out what penalties to do. When you think about how much work went into every aspect, I'm like, how did we pull that off? Because we were also uploading for the past year and working on this project in tandem.
Say you're like a creator, 100K subs. What advice would you give to that creator to just deepen their audience connection?
Don't get caught in this rat race of the next viral video where you're sort of being a puppet of yourself, or like a shell of yourself, in order to try to impress people that won't click the next video you post. Concept is so important, but beyond that, it's who you are, your style, and what sets you apart from others that will really like actually build a career.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for coming on. We'll see you next year. 196 countries, 196 days.
Bruh.